Hello everybody, it's just me here today. In one of Mama's gardening videos, I asked if y'all wanted to see my wild West Virginia ginseng patch, and a lot of people in the comments said yes, they would like to see it, so here I am. I'm going to show it to y'all today. And it's this probably 30-foot wide area. I got it fenced in so no animals, the chickens can't get to it or nothing and eat the berries off of it. But I'm going to try to make it as informational as possible and tell y'all some stuff about it and show it to y'all. But there's a lot of it in this fenced in area. It's all over the place. I got baby ones and big ones. And it has to be mainly, or probably 80% shade. It can't be in direct sunlight or it just dies instantly, so I can't have it like in the open. So it's covered by all these trees and this big tree. Step over and see if I can find some of them to show y'all. We got all kinds of different little patches in here, and I can come around without stepping on it. And the top of it, you can eat it too, but the main part that's used for energy drinks, and they put it in medicine and stuff too. But the main part that you actually use that's in medicine is the curl, which is part of the root. This is all ginseng right here. These are 2 prongs, little 2 prongs. These ones are 2 prongs. If it's got 2 sticks that come off of it like that, that means it's a 2 prong. And if it's got one of them, like them ones down there, those is all called 3 leaves. These little baby ones, because it's got 3 little leaves on there. And then there's some of them with the 3 prongs, and they just get bigger and bigger. They get to 4 prongs, 5 prongs, but the biggest one I've ever seen was a 4 prong. There's a bunch more little 3 leaves down there. Hey, this is just one little area here. And it is a very valuable plant. That's the only reason I dig it and grow it, and just in case I ever need to come and dig it up. And plus it's just fun to have and nice to have a little ginseng patch. Here's a bunch more little ones. Last year, or not last year, but maybe the year before last year, I think it was worth $1,000 a pound. But if I dug all this up, everything that's in here, it probably wouldn't be not even close to a half pound, because it mainly all this is small stuff, and I've only been growing it here for probably maybe 4 years. And also it takes a very long time to grow. Like it could be 3 or 4 years before it ever even turns into a 3 prong. Here's a bunch more big patch of little tiny ones there. It kind of looks like strawberries, like wild strawberries. There's some over there hidden. Here's a kind of big one here. This is a 3 prong. See how it's got the three different sticks coming off of the top of it? A bunch more here. And the very first ones I ever planted was all right here. These ones is probably 3 or 4 years old, and they're still that small. And it does get to be hundreds of years old. The curl is the part that gets bigger. Every year it gets one more notch on the curl. There's a whole bunch here. There's a 3 prong. There's more over there. There's 2 3 prongs right here, right by the bank. And then it is a very valuable plant. It's probably the most valuable plant in West Virginia, or maybe anywhere in the US probably. But people, they use it in like medicine. It might be in penicillin, but I'm not for sure. But it's possible. And I know for sure it's in all different energy drinks. It gives you energy. And that's why whenever you gotta climb the mountain to be able to find it. Like there is some in this holler there, but I've dug it out for the past few years. But when you're climbing the mountain, if you break the stem, if you find one and you break it and you chew on it, it'll give you energy. So some people does that while they're hunting for it. And it doesn't come in season to actually hunt for it until September 1st. And I'm going to be leaving. I'm going back to the Philippines September 10th. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to hunt for it at all this year. So I might miss out on it this whole season. I'm going to try to pan over it and see if y'all could spot some yourself. Here's one that I accidentally stepped on my way through earlier. And something else I forgot to mention, every year, the little ones like these little 2 prongs and the little 3 leaves, they don't get berries, so they don't reproduce. But the 3 prongs, that's whenever they start to get the berries and they start to reproduce, the berries will fall down and grow a little 3 leaf. So that's why it's illegal to dig them if it's under a 3 prong. Like you can't dig a 2 prong or a 3 leaf if you're in the woods. It's illegal. So you're only allowed to dig the three prongs, and then you can plant them and let them reproduce on your property where you planted them. A bunch more there. I guess I'm gonna end it here so this video ain't too boring for y'all. I keep thinking of more stuff to tell y'all, but I'm sure there's a lot that I forgot to tell y'all. Another thing is you're not supposed to plant it on flat ground. It's better to be on a hillside like this. Is a pretty steep hill here. And that's so that whenever the berries fall off in the fall, they'll roll down the hill and then the babies will be planted down the hill. That's all. Made this video just for the people in the comments that's requested to see it. There it is, wild West Virginia ginseng. It's a big patch of it right there. And I have dried roots too, but I might show that in another video, and I might connect it to this video if I can. I'll show you all the dried roots. But all these ones here has got a little tiny, super small little baby root that's like almost nothing. And the roots that I have to show y'all that's already dried, they're humongous roots, and they come from giant 3 prongs, bigger than anything in here. Normally when it's a real big one, I just bring them back and I dry them out and sell them the next year. But whenever it's a baby, anytime I see baby ones, I'll bring them back and plant them. Whenever I was telling y'all earlier that it's illegal to dig the baby ones, that's just if you're going to dry them out and sell them. You could dig the baby ones and bring them back and plant them, as long as you're not drying them out and selling them or anything, because you can't sell the baby ones. But that's all for this one. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll make sure to show the dried ones and the bigger roots, the actual root of it, at the end of this video. If y'all are still watching at this part in the video, make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment, share us to Facebook if you want to. But we love y'all, God bless y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Hey y'all, I'm back now with this ginseng. This is the dried ginseng, what I just showed y'all in the other part of the video. And this is a really big one. This is a rare one to find. I've been hunting ginseng for probably 6 or 7 years now, and this might be in probably the top 10 biggest ones I've ever found. And each one of those notches is 1 year. And each one of these things, I think this might be called like a node or something, but this is adds 5 years on. So that's 5 and 10 years because there's 2 of them, and plus 1 year for each notch. So this one's probably 30 years old. Some of them will be way smaller, but have a more of a curl and be older. Like this one is very, very old because the curl comes from right there and it goes all the way around. This one's probably 30 or 40 years old. And this one is a rare find too. This one was a really big 4-prong. It doesn't look that big, but this is actually a huge root. It's dried out too, so it was probably 4 times this size whenever it was wet. And this is maybe about an ounce, or it was like 4 ounces whenever it was wet. It might be like a ½ ounce now. But each one of these roots is probably like a $20 root. And I keep these ones separate just because they're big ones, and whenever you take them to sell them, they do like to see them separated. I'm sure there's a lot of y'all that's not going to care about this, but this is just for the people that is interested in it and likes to see the West Virginia stuff. This is called cohosh. It's another root that I don't know what it's used for. I don't know any medical uses or if it's in any foods or anything. All I know is it's called black cohosh and you can sell it. And it's not very valuable. It's heavy, but it's only worth like maybe $1 or $2 a pound. And then over here, this is yellow root. This is probably the second most valuable root around here at least. And you might be wondering why it's called yellow root. It's because the inside is yellow. If you break it open, it's a yellow in there. And it will stain your clothes. It stains your hands too. And it stinks really bad. Some people uses this for like a cough suppressant. Like if you boil it into water or make like a tea out of it and you drink it, it soothes your throat for like a cough. But I've never actually tried it. But something that I have noticed, if you're drying this out in your house, this is already dried. But if it's wet and you bring it in your house and you're drying it out, then make sure that it's not in the same room as you, because you will get a bad sore throat for breathing it in. I don't know why. How could it give you a sore throat and take away a sore throat? But somehow it does. It'll give you a bad sore throat if you breathe it. Only when it's wet though. Now that it's dried, it won't do that. But this is probably maybe 3 or 4 pounds of a dried yellow root, and this is only worth like maybe $20 or $30 a pound. So this is worth a decent amount. This kind is worth almost nothing. And then ginseng is the most valuable root that there is. But there's a little root knowledge and some West Virginia herbs. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope it wasn't too boring for y'all or anything like that. But if you don't like this type of content, then you can click over to one of Mama's cooking recipes. I'm sure you enjoy that. But we love y'all. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all in the next one.